Hey Daniela, my name's Daphne. Lovely to be working with you. Thank you for joining us on the course at IELTS podcast. So let's have a look at your first essays. So some people think schools have to be more entertaining, while others think their sole purpose is to educate. Which do you agree with? Use reasons. Okay, so let's just check the word count. Yeah, you could go a little bit longer maybe here. Nowadays it's proven that children need didactic activities to learn. It's important to establish that schools are not only for the purpose of having an education, but also have something in which students can be distracted. Now, I can see you kind of paraphrasing, but be careful here because it's important to establish this section here is not quite what this is saying. This is saying some people think it's a good idea, but others think it should be absolutely only academic. So here it is important to establish. I would sort of modify that. I would say it, while you could say something like, it is often suggested that schools, so it's not like everyone agrees it, but some people do. It's often suggested that schools are not only for the purpose of having an education, but also should include, should offer, rather than have, I'd go should offer something, maybe not something, maybe offer some way in which the students can be distracted. Okay, I don't like that. I'm really sorry. I'm going to be very honest because I know your exam's coming soon, so be really honest. It's not we, it's you. So, can be distracted. Maybe not distracted because then they wouldn't be studying. I mean, students can be more motivated without such a focus on key academics. That's really what we're saying, is either do we study for exams the whole time or do we do something else. Now here I would go this essay. You've got to give your opinion, opinion, what do you think now? And then this essay we'll discuss. And in your next essays you're going to have Ben's template that you can play with. You don't have to have all of it, but you can use bits of it. But I would definitely use Ben's lines here on how to do your opinion in your intro. Okay. Also, your intro doesn't need to be too long. I'd rather these were longer and that was shorter. So over the years, so don't use we in an IELTS essay. It's not academic enough as a style. So forget we. Try and do it another way. Over the years, it has been understood, or many academics have stated, that as a society, children go high level, need to learn via didactic activities. Now, you've used that phrase before. It's very nice, but don't use it again. Tell me what you mean. So what are they? What do you mean here? With which they can develop their mental capacity more. For example, when children are doing an activity either in preschool, it's easier for them to learn singing that are not keeping them seated. Okay. Now, if you've got either, you should be having or, either in preschool or somewhere else. So develop this more. So more here. So more. You need another big sentence here explaining why that helps. Then you can come to your example at the nearer the end of the paragraph. Children are doing an activity such as, what kind of activity here? In preschool, it's easier for them to learn. It's easier for them to learn through singing or dancing or doing other types of activities that are not keeping them seated. Good point. It's proven that a student in general pays attention for 4 hours after those. Very good. No longer not pass, no longer accessible or memorable. Those would also work as words, okay? You're jumping from preschool here to student here. I would kind of keep that at the same level, roughly the same level. That's a lot of years difference. Maybe you meant to do that, but it feels like quite a big jump on the coherence. Okay. However, schools are so used to having too strict a learning control since they used to get used to it a long time. Ooh. Don't like that sentence. That doesn't quite work in English. However, an academic focus in schools in order to achieve exam results has been traditional and is still the main priority of many establishments. Okay? Something like that. Yeah? That is a nice topic sentence. It shows the examiner you're changing direction. This sentence is a little bit, doesn't really make sense grammatically. For example, it was customary for children to be seated and only to face the front or face the teacher, which was the only way they could understand for information to reach their brain. Additionally, to give me a bit more here about exams. Yeah, the training people have to do for exams, the importance of exams, that sort of thing. Build that paragraph a bit more, okay? In my opinion, I think it's important the brain has something with which it can be stimulated. Good. It's important to use activities in schools. Absolutely, I really like that. I kind of would make this shorter and take some of this really good stuff into here. Yeah? So shorter intro, shorter conclusion, and build up these main body paragraphs a bit more. Okay? But good start. You've understood the question really well. So that is good. That's a really strong start. So doing an enjoyable activity with a child can develop better skills. Okay? In society, it's proven that if you educate a child in a more fun way, he can develop more skills. Okay. Now, careful, we're not just talking about education here. This is a different essay, not the same as you've just been doing. Okay, so different essay style. Excuse me. So I would think that if you expose a child to a wide variety of activities, yeah, he can develop more skills. So we expose somebody to something. It's true that when a child reads, it is perceptible to develop more skills as well as doing different activities. That is why in this, okay, so again, let's work through that, how to change that, okay? It is true that when a child reads, it is perceptible to develop more skills as well as doing. Do you mean more skills than? Careful here. So what are you saying? Are you saying reading's better, or are you saying doing lots of activities is better? Be really clear on your thesis statement. That's really clear on which way you're going here, okay? I'm not quite sure from reading this whether you're saying reading's better or activity's better. So it's proven that. So careful, you've got proven that here, and you've got proven that again here, okay? And then you've got this sentence that you really like, didactic activities. What do you mean? Tell me what this means, okay? A child can develop 80% of their abilities. These correspond to their brain. Okay. All right, can't you find a number? Okay, that's fine, but let's talk about sport. Let's talk about art. Let's talk about going for a walk in the countryside, yeah? And we're not really talking just about intelligence. We're talking about creativity. So, yeah, psychometric, we say. Psychomotor, okay, maybe. I think I kind of want a little bit more about, in terms of more intelligent. So I would change that word, because that we're not really, if it's parents encouraging to do more activities from an early age. Okay, for example, counting. For example, learning to play football, to build team building awareness. And then I'd go into your counting. But I think you want something that's not just school, because this essay is not just school, and it's doing something with a child. Okay. On the other hand, now careful with, on the other hand, you need, on the one hand, they need to balance. Many parents, just many parents, think that their children will learn through reading, which is also true, good, but in such a way a child cannot spend so much time reading a book, because it can reach a point where it can become overwhelmed. Okay, because this may become overwhelming and lonely even. Yeah, or you could say because although this is a key skill for cognitive learning, so yes, it's very important, it might become too much. So this idea of concession, although it's a key skill, yeah, it's true that books have too much learning. Not too much learning. I would say they offer a huge amount of learning, but for young children it's necessary. Good, okay, I get that. Yeah, no capital there. Okay, well done, good. In conclusion, now your opinion, to what extent do you agree? So I strongly believe here it's necessary that children have a variety of activities with which they can develop skills and they discover themselves in the same way. Good. You don't need that. Okay, if you want to use that, it's quite nice, but you could put it in somewhere else. You don't need to make that conclusion so long. So just think about rebalancing it. Think about really building this and be more specific. What do you actually mean in some of these things? So develop the beginning of the paragraph more and then go into your example at the end. Okay, really hope that's helpful. Well done, Daniela.